All right, people, get ready for this discussion because it's a good one. Autism. You think it's the next step? Let's talk about it.
Walk in, chest great, we don't play. Staff talk sharp like a quiz on a Monday. Whiteboard wars, yeah, we grade all day. If you can't take that heat, stay out the hallway. Hey, this is the staff room. Say it loud, say it loud. The staff room.
Let's get into it.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the staff room. My name is Dr. Motto, 16-year educator and author of How School Leaders Motivate Teachers in Real Classrooms, a practitioner's guide. You can go ahead and get it on Amazon. The link is in the description. So listen up, team. Pardon the interruption, team. Currently, only 16% of those viewing my videos are subscribed to the channel. We are currently on a journey to 100 subscribers. At that time, we'll have a subscriber celebration live stream where you can interact with me, watch some funny content, and enjoy each other as a community. I'm excited to hear what you all think about the channel and how we can grow as a community. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you when we hit 100. I got one for you, and this one is pure speculation. It's just something that I've kind of thought of and thought about for a while, and I've always liked to talk to people about it because I like to hear what people think about it. So I'm ready for all comments because I know you'll have some after this conversation. But listen, hear me out. And this does not come from any place that's insensitive at all. I have a daughter who I just feel like I am the luckiest man in the world to have because she was the easiest child and still remains to be quite easy and just a pleasure to have around, who has autism. I said this first in about 2016. Internet really became big and interaction over the internet started to gain a lot of traction. If anybody is familiar with Darwin's theory of evolution, it basically says that the body and I want to say, let's just say the mind, just to say, have traits. And throughout time, if the environment does not elicit those traits fall off and more useful traits become apparent and your body becomes adapted. For more information about Darwin's theory of evolution and natural selection, you can go ahead and take a trip over to Gutenberg.org. I think it's a great resource if you want to just brush up on the understanding of how natural selection occurs and how it relates to the conversation we're going to have. Check out the chapter on natural selection. It'll give you a way better understanding than I could give you generally now. That being said, I don't care how crazy it sounds. I think it's an interesting conversation to have, so let's have it. Would it be so crazy to say that autism could be the next step in our evolutionary process? Hear me out. If socializing in person has been increasingly becoming less useful, we're worse at it. We no longer need it. We can work from home. We can have disconnected jobs where we just input systems and then extract data. If we're constantly connected to our phones and we do all of our interaction online, with the exception of the obvious, which is reproducing, who would say that that would then hinder the necessity of our social behaviors? Now, listen, everybody speculates that we kind of have an idea where it's coming from, regardless of where autism came from. What if the talents that they possess, because they can be hyper-focused, they're great at technology, which happens to be the direction that our world is moving. They don't really care what people think about them. They're going to move in the direction that is most stimulating to them, which makes them great at a lot of things, whether it's art, music, science, whatever it is. Let's be honest. We have a lot of people in our society who are very intelligent, successful people who are on the spectrum, and those people can be seen as typically functioning people, but they're like socially awkward. They don't feel comfortable in those situations, but they're hyper focused on their craft. Some would even say it could be a STEM, but I think that it's an interesting discussion in our comments to say this. Well, it was always like a weird conversation that I had with people, but I truly felt this way. Because neurodivergence is a thing more so now than ever. But then I was watching Joe Rogan, who's not really somebody that who I typically subscribe to all of their theories on. But this came up and I was like, you know what? I need to cover it with you guys. So I want you to take a listen. I'm not going to play the whole thing because I don't want to get copyrighted, but I want you just to take a listen to this conversation that him and another comedian, Theo Vaughn, have about autism. Let's check it out.
But I do think that one day our smiles will be in a museum. That's where we're headed. It's like the feelings are starting to disappear, you know?
Maybe that's what autism is. Like severe autism.
Oh, I've thought about that a lot. That's why we're getting to some of the only way we could get to this place, if we get to this data-driven place where it's like, you know, alien-esque, things start to feel alien-esque here, is because of autism leading. It's when autism mixes with what's it called? Our society is based on money, capitalism. When autism and capitalism converge, things got really weird.
That was the first interesting point that he made, autism and capitalism. So basically using a data-based process and workers that are incredibly data-driven to drive capitalism and to drive income. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Right, and think about it, right? We don't know exactly what is causing autism. They have a lot of suspicions. One thing we could all agree on, and Tylenol, they think too, right? But one thing that we can all agree on, it's a big factor is stuff that we've created. That's a big factor. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Let's not put the blame on any one of these industries, but there's something going on where more people are getting autism now than ever, and it seems almost positive that it's coming from us, that we did something.
All right, so that was another crazy point that he made. So yeah, it's positive that it came from us, but I don't believe he's saying that it was done on purpose. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that whatever changes have occurred in our lifestyle, it's causing this to happen. And we don't know the cause, but this is happening. Interesting.
Human society. Well, if you think about where human society is going, wouldn't that be a way to turn us into something new, right? If we were going to merge with machines, what better way than to like eliminate empathy, eliminate emotions, make us like able to like stay at home and stare at a screen for hours at a time with no concern whatsoever, just the kind of social detachment along with the integration of all this crazy new technology and the people, a lot of the people that are in the tech business at high levels are on the spectrum.
Oh, dude.
Listen, so again, there was another discussion with Elon Musk where he pointed this out too. The integration with humans and technology into one, I guess, Android-esque thing. That's not what they're saying. What he's saying is we are basically already there because most of us are attached to some form of technology. It's now become a place that forwards our thinking. So if you ask me a question and I can't retrieve that information from my own knowledge, I then already have a phone in my hand to extend that knowledge. That's asynchronous behavior. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. They're on the fucking diving board of the spectrum.
They're the ones bringing in AI.
Yeah.
They're bringing in the next version of life. We're thinking it's like a mistake, but it might not be. It might be like a crucial part of the system when you get further and further integrated with technology and all the stuff that you need to make it. What is that ultimately doing? If it's leading people to be on the spectrum more and more often, what if one day it's not 1 in 12 in California? If it's 100%,
Yeah.
everybody, you got a full spectrum society, and there's no regular people left. This is like an invasion,
Right.
like an invasion of like a way that people think that's entering into human civilization.
Yeah. And
Because I've spent time around thousands of kids and had deep conversations with many kids, it's interesting because I see a lot of these traits, a lot of them in autistic kids. Not only could a lot of them care less about a lot of social things, like they would prefer and excel in the things that they wanted to excel in and completely disregard the negative interactions. Like they would laugh if somebody went to bully them, they would almost think it was funny and then just go about their business. They really didn't care. If like somebody bullied them physically, that'd be a different story, but emotionally they were like, I don't care about that. I'm going to go research. One of them researched technology that I knew, and he was like, I don't care. Dr. Matos, that kid's bothering me. All right. and he'll go right back to his work. And then I would talk to the other kid and it was fine. But a lot of these traits I see.
I agree, right? So then it's like those, and then if you don't have this like uprising, this emotional uprising out of people of like, you know, like this is wrong. Cause I think like, you know, when you get real data based and like that kind of like tism-esque type of energy, I think you're not, you know, you're not thinking about some of the, like how it affects you as much, or maybe just you're able to like roll into that nest of like, this is this new digital landscape and those people fit well in it. Does that make any sense?
It does.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I am also a neurodivergent. I have things that I basically affect the way I talk to people, because as I'm retrieving things, I'm also reviewing and Rolodexing various in pages and pages of information within my head that I'm trying to retrieve from, and in an effort to better deliver a point. Yeah, I've been diagnosed and I'm, you know, I've been medicated since I was for years and years and years. But regardless, I see exactly what he's saying, because even in the comments, I've been receiving like racist comments in my comments. And I think it's interesting because my response usually to those people is, oh, I see where you're coming from. You're angry about X, Y, and Z. And because I've explained it and you just happen to have an emotional issue with it, that's what you do. Like, you just want to discuss that with me at that time to make yourself feel better. And immediately their comments get deleted. Like, they don't know how to respond. And I personally don't have I really could have a care in the world when it comes to that stuff. Even like in person, somebody could say whatever they want to me and I would just kind of look at them and go about my business or finish my conversation. Yeah, it's super common to see these things, especially within schools where you're seeing more and more kids with autism.
It does fit well, and they do fit well in it. I know a lot of people that are spectrum-y that are very happy just being online all the time.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
And dude, maybe that's what's supposed, yeah, that's the scary part, is like, what if that's what's supposed to happen?
Right.
And the rest of us are just like, because I'm like, I think of
there it is.
romanticist, you know, I'm thinking like, oh yeah,
there it is.
A porch and a rocking chair. And then, but
we're thinking of autism as a flaw, but it might be a feature.
Right there. Now, this is the other part that I've always told people: watch out for certain things, because the CIA and government agencies have been known to actively screen ADHD and people with anxiety. They don't see it as a flaw. They see it as a skill that they have, because they say that people with ADHD and anxiety are hyper observant. They have almost intuitions about environments and things that not many other people have. People with OCD, they are very observant of the things around them to a point where they can map out a strategy in their head before those things happen. The perception of their surroundings are probably, I would say, second to none. So all of these things are very, very interesting to me, because I've always said, if we in fact, as a scientific society, say that evolution is in fact a thing, wouldn't evolution of the mind also be a thing? Listen, I don't care what you say in the comments. You can tear them up. You can say whatever you want. I just want to hear what you all think of that. Could autism manifest into the next big player in our society? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Staff room.
Walk in, chance great, we don't play. Staff